Hey, what is going on? Welcome to the Million Dollar Coach Show. My name is Ryan McMorris, and I'm here to help you build your $1,000,000 coaching business. Welcome to the show. If you are watching live today, make sure you let me know that you're watching live. If you're watching the replay, let me know that as well. Today, we're going to be diving internal, and I'm going to be sharing how to rewire your mind to get to $83,000 a month as an online coach. If you're wondering why that specific number just came out, it's because if you get to $83,000 a month as a coach, it's very specific. $83,000 a month each month for 12 months is $1,000,000 in a calendar year. And I want to help you get there. So no matter where you are in your coaching business journey, whether you are just getting started and you're looking to bring on your first client, your next 10 clients, or you're really ready to scale towards 10 clients or 30 clients per month, then you're in the right place. And the context behind this one today is I was having a conversation with a lady who reached out. She wanted some help. She was doing really well in her coaching business, but she wasn't feeling authentic, and her income was feeling like this. So she'd do like 30 grand here, 15 grand here, 40 grand here, and then, back to 5. And I was like, all right, we gotta figure all these things out. And as she was telling me all the things that were going on inside of her business and inside of her life, a lot of us were looking for a program to go through. And it was really funny because I was like, you don't need a program. You need like a business coach that understands all the things that are going inside of you, that are going on internally, that are kind of going on inside of your mind, and they're going on inside of your business. So we can help you rewire your mind for success, rewire your body for success. Because if you're walking around with a vibration that is, if it was a monetary vibration, some of us are walking around with this vibration that's capped at $5,000 a month. Some of us are walking around at this vibration that I can do 20 grand a month in my job, but like, how could I ever do that in my business? And these vibrations that we hold, these thought processes that are going through our head, they're either helping you get to where you want to be, or they're keeping you where you're at. And I was always told, I've been doing this since 2014. I was always told that if you do not become the person that can run the business that you want, that person that can become the person that runs an $83,000 a month business, then you will never have or sustain that business. Okay. And I want you to have that business. All right. So let me know where you're coming in from. Again, my job is to rewire your mind with this. So as I go through these things that I designed for her, what I want you to do is I want you to, if something comes up, then allow me to coach you in that moment, because I'm here for you. Okay. But understand that if you feel like you're afraid to talk about the thing, or afraid to ask a question, or afraid to lean in on something, it's fine. Just comment the word impact. One of our team members, one of our clarity coaches, they'll connect with you. They'll have a quick call with you, and it's free. And they'll just make sure that you're going in the right direction. Talk about it in private. I would encourage you to bring it up here, because no one here is going to judge you. No one here is going to try to put you in a place where you don't feel uncomfortable. That's not going to serve you. Okay. So as we dive in today, all right, let's try to be as open as we possibly can about the internal things that are going on in our minds and our bodies that are keeping us from the goal that we want. Okay. So I'm going to share some shit with you today that has helped me over the years. Okay. Let me take you back real quick. I'm going to hold on a second. Let me get this thing tagged. All right. So let me provide some context to you just real quick here. All right. Let me share. I'm going to share my screen. That way I can write everything down. It keeps me on track. Y'all think I was doing this for you. Okay. I wasn't doing this for you. I wasn't drawing on my screen for you. I draw on the screen for me. Okay. Keeps me on track. All right. So let me take you back real quick. Okay. To a place where I was 3 years ago. Okay. So back in 2020. Okay. The most money that we had made in a month in our coaching business, I think was $42,000. Okay. And that was becoming like this kind of fluke number for us. Like it was like, oh man, like we hit it, but we could never like get back to it, and we could never get really consistent with it. So in 2020, like again, we had made 42 grand in a month, and it was basically off of like this one launch that we did. And so we were feeling like, all right, like how can we make this consistent? Give me a number one if you've ever felt like you've been on this like income roller coaster inside of your coaching business, or inside of like what you do consulting, or with your courses, or whatever you do with your digital products. Give me a number one if you've ever felt like you've been on this like income roller coaster. Okay. I'm going to put a number one down because I know I felt like that before. Okay. And I felt like in order to help us get to this like $100,000 a month mark, like it was like, how the hell am I going to get here? What are we going to do? Like, how are these people doing these kind of numbers in their business? Okay. And I'll never forget sitting in a room, get some more light in here. All right. I like them number ones. What up? What up? What up, Mary Luce? What up, Robert? Good to see you. So I'm sitting in this room, and this guy's basically like, look, some of y'all are sitting in here and you want to make $100,000 a month, but you keep putting it on a pedestal. Okay. And he's like, if we made $100,000 in our business this month, then it would be an absolute panic. It would be like all hands on deck. It would be like absolute chaos. If we made $100,000 this month in our business, it would be like, yo, what the hell is going on? Okay. And in this moment, I'm sitting there like, holy shit, he's right. All of us are putting some number on a pedestal, and we've wired our mind that that's an unreachable number. Okay. And I want you to realize that like everything that's going on inside of your head is creating some feeling, some pulse that's going through your body. And that is emitting like an absolute vibration into the universe. And the only thing that the universe can do is send you back that same vibration, because it only works like a mirror. And so everything you send out, it's going to come back to you. And the word that I want to hit on real quick, I'm going to try not to bounce around and be a dick. Okay. But here's the first word that I want to focus on is responsibility. Okay. I think there's another right. Responsibility. Now, if everything that you have in your life right now is because you sent that vibration out into space, and all it did was send it right back to you, whose fault is it that you have the results that you have in your life right now? Now, you may be looking at your life and be like, yo, I got a pretty damn good life. And still take responsibility for that. Take responsibility for the amazing things that are happening in your life right now. Take responsibility for all the things that you don't want in your life right now, and love each one of those. Okay. I want you to, my goal for you is to figure out what thoughts aren't serving you anymore, and bring some actual intention to them. Because as soon as you bring awareness to the thoughts that aren't serving you anymore, like sometimes you gotta put yourself around people that will actually call you out on your bullshit talk. Because a lot of us are saying bullshit to ourselves every single day that's not serving. We will talk more shit about ourselves than we ever will about other people. Tell me if I'm lying. Give me a truth or a facts or something. Let me know you're with me real quick. But again, I hear people all the time say, "Oh man, I'm just fat. I'm just out of shape. I'm just stupid. I'm new." What bullshit are we telling ourselves every day that's keeping you from being that version of yourself. Okay. Because again, if you do not become the person that runs an $83,000 a month business, okay, let's put that number up. Okay. 83K a month. If you don't become the person that can run the business at $83,000 a month, if you don't become the person that can run the coaching business at $100,000 per month, then guess what, my friend? You are not going to gain that thing, and you're not going to sustain that thing. Okay. So my goal here is to help you to realize that unless we get to a place where, one, we define what do you want? What kind of business do you want? So talk with me here. Let's have a conversation. What do you want? What do you want? Okay. The law of attraction works in a very simple way. A lot of us we're approaching life every single day. We're approaching our business every single day from a, what do I don't want? Okay. So let me put this in relation to you. Okay. If there is a stoplight, okay, and this one stoplight is red, yellow, green, right? And you're approaching the stoplight from, hey, I don't want to get red lights, okay? I don't want to get red lights. I don't want to get red lights. I don't want to get red lights. There's a difference between the person that runs their business like, I don't want to get red lights, and the person that I want to get green lights. Okay. Let me know. Give me number 2 in the comment section if that makes sense. A lot of us are approaching our businesses this way. We're approaching every single day, every single move, every single big decision is from a place of what I don't want. Okay. Give me number 2 if that makes sense, if you're following along with me. Because as soon as you get into a vibration of, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this, you're in this place of fear. You're in this place of lack. You're in this vibration that can't be in true abundance. Okay. So unless we actually bring some true awareness to what's going on inside of our head, and if you can't bring awareness to yourself, then you got to start you either got to hire a coach, or you got to get a good ass accountability partner, somebody that's willing to call you out on your shit. Okay. So when I laid out this plan for, I'm not going to call her name. Okay. But I personally, I haven't taken on like one-on-one coaching clients in a long time, but it got me thinking, because I was like, man, a lot of people need this. A lot of people, they need this. They need this stuff. They need to like really dig in. I'm not just on a surface level, because we teach this stuff in our programs. Like, we know that unless you change your mind about something, then you're not going to truly make internal changes. But today I want to help you rewire. So I want you to write down today that you can do it here. You can tell me here, we can coach on it, or you can do this yourself, and you can set some time aside later this afternoon to actually do this for yourself and for your business. But just write down, what do you want? What kind of business do you want? How much money does that business make? What do you want out of your clients? Just get specific around what you want. There's so much vague BS out there you got to get rid of it. Don't end up like that person that's just out there says like, oh, I want to make a lot of money, or, oh, I just want more clients, or, oh, I just want to do this. That's super vague. We do not live in a vague world in here. Okay. If you're in my world, you don't live in a vague world. If you're one of our clients, you don't live in a vague world. Okay. So we ain't got no room for anybody vague. Okay. We're specific. We are creators. All right. Everybody down with that? Give me some fire emojis. Give me some taps or something. All right. Because my energy, hey, look, when y'all's energy shows up, my energy shows up. All right. If y'all want to see me get lit up, then y'all got to light. Let's light up. And if you need me to light you up, then just stay here. All right. Now, the other important thing that I want you to hit on today is who. Oh, man. Who do you, let's go with want to be. Okay. I was going to put need. Who do you need to be? No, there is no need. I went through one of my coaches years ago asked me to stop using the word need. And so I did. And so I stopped treating conversations with team members. I stopped treating conversations with them and said, hey, look, I need you to do this. What did I replace it with? I actually replaced it with, I would love for you to do this. Okay. It would make me so happy if you were to do this thing, the specific thing that I want, instead of saying, I need you to do this, or you should do this, or something like that. Okay. Just switching that language up, because what did I want? I wanted team members. I wanted partners. I wanted employees to feel like they were empowered and took ownership of their department. Okay. So instead of me saying like, hey, I don't want our people to say this, or I don't want our people to say this, I got really specific about what I wanted. Okay. And if there's gaps that are missing in your business today, again, I'm here to rewire your brain for whatever income that you want. Okay. I truly believe that every single one of us has $1 million potential. Okay. Your skill is all up to what you want. Okay. Everyone can do this, but is everyone going to put in the right amount of work? Okay. Now, here's number two. The number two thing is probably a little bit harder for us to really grasp, because we have to focus on who do you want to be? Okay. Now, define that $100,000 a month person. Okay. I know for me, that $100,000 a month person for me, I had to communicate. I can tell you this, me intentionally trying to be so much better at my communication with my wife turned out that I was training myself to be a better communicator with clients. I was training myself to be a better communicator in our marketing, and I was training myself to be a better communicator with my team. Okay. And when I didn't even know what I was doing, but I was defining who I needed to be, because I wanted a happy marriage. I wanted to be a person that didn't get a divorce. I wanted that marriage to last for years, decades, a lifetime. You feel me? And so I want you to really get clear on who you need to be. What are these traits? And again, I need to be intentional about my words, right? Who do you want to be? Okay. Next one is where. Where's the gap? Okay. There's who you are right now. And there's this person that's doing $83K a month. Okay. And you've got to find this. There's things that are happening in this gap right here. That's where shift happens. Okay. And so there's things that are going to happen in your life today. There's things that are going to happen in your business today. It reminds me of, if you have a tech issue, when you have a tech issue in your business, tech issues happen to everybody. But if you have a tech issue in your business today, are you going to let it get to you? Or are you going to ask yourself, if I was making $100,000 a month, what would I do in this scenario? Who would I call? Who would I ask? What would happen? And if that thing can be done today, sometimes it can't be, because your answer may be, well, if I had $100,000 a month coming in, I'd probably, pay, $5,000 for this person to fix it. And if you've got it, then do it. Okay. But when we go about our day, we have to we're putting ourselves in these scenarios. And let me know with the number 3 in the comments if that makes sense. We're always in these scenarios every single day that we can do the thing that the $83,000 a month version of ourselves would do. But we're not taking that one moment to ask ourselves, what would she do? What would he do in this scenario? And just taking that extra second to talk it out with yourself can help you make a different decision, because you wouldn't make the now decision. You wouldn't see the now decision is a reaction. You feel me? I don't want to react. This person responds. So if something happened this morning with a client that I wasn't really happy about, but I can define the two different things, the two different the one reaction or the one response. Okay. And when I chose this response, okay, it puts us in the scenario of adding things up. All these things are going to add up to draw this thing near us, to draw this thing to us. Okay. Give me number 3 in the comments if that makes sense so far. Okay. Because I really want you to see that all there is an internal gap from the person that you are today. That's why I wear this shirt. It says shift happens. Okay. Shift happens means that there's someone that you are being right now, and then there's the version of yourself that you could be being. Okay. And shift happens is in the middle. That's why it's right in the center of the shirt. Because every single day I want you to be able to put a shirt on like this and use it as your superhero cape. Use it as your indicator to become that best version of yourself. Okay? And when you do that, you're going to put yourself in a scenario that you can draw the business to you. Okay? So a lot of us, when we break down, like, what does an $83,000 a month coaching business look like? Okay. So an $83,000 coaching month or $83,000 a month business, usually there's a clear promise. Okay. And so there's the outside. I'm going to break this down in 2 ways. There's the outside and there's the inside. Okay. You cannot have a clear promise from the inside if you are not confident about what you're doing. Okay. If you're not confident about getting someone a result, if you can't own the fact that you are better than other people and you can get people a result, you're going to have a weak promise. So if you have a weak promise and you just say, hey, like, it makes me think there's a girl that she's a lead of ours. And when I look at her stuff on social media, every time I look at her stuff, I'm like, you have a weak promise. Hey, let's talk about social media. Hey, let's talk about, how to grow. And it's like, that's very vague. On a scale to 1 to 10, how strong do you think your promise is? Like, I have no problem telling you that I can help you become $1 million coach. No problem telling you that. Why? Because I've owned it. Internally, I have the confidence. Internally, I've practiced the meditation of me delivering that result. Some of you have already delivered that result for people, but there's something that's keeping you internally. Your mind is telling you that your promise, that if I say that, I'm afraid that what if I don't do it? What if I don't show up? What if they get mad? What if someone does this? We got to fix that shit. So there's this internal thing that's happening right now that's not allowing you to have a clear promise, to have a big promise, a promise that makes you stand out. But there's internal things that are happening. What if somebody gets mad? What if somebody sues me? What if somebody cancels? What if? Are you living in fear? Are you living in faith? Okay. You got to own it. Yeah. Dusty just said it. Own that shit. The girl I was helping, she was like, hey, it was a very weak promise. A weak promise. And I was like, look, if you help freelancers make 6 figures, then go out and do it. Have you helped one freelancer make 6 figures? Yes. Then why the hell are we not owning our promise? I mean, geez. I'm talking to you. If you're not going to own your promise, don't bother showing up and saying that you're not getting a result. You're not owning the promise. The promise is the headline. The promise is going to make you stand out. Are you afraid to stand out? Then we need to figure out why you're so afraid to stand out. You know what I said in this call Friday? You're selfish. I said you're being selfish. A lot of us, we are putting this weak ass, bullshit ass promise out onto internet land because you think it's about you. You're a coach. You're a business owner. This has nothing to do with you. You provide value and you go out and help people. You change people's lives. You make their life easier. You make their life better. You're not here for you. Everything that happens as a benefit to me and my family is a result of making someone's life easier, making your life easier, removing a marketing burden, removing a sales burden, removing a business strategy burden, making a thought process easier for you, helping you see the light where you were in the dark and you could not figure it out. And I know you do that for people, but you're not showing that in your promise. I don't know. Next thing. Let's get it. The promise is going to always lead to a framework. So if internally you've got things going on, a vibration that's not serving you because you're not meditating every day, you don't know how to meditate, you don't know how to see the future, you don't know how to talk to yourself, you don't know how to calm yourself because you're not taught those things, then you're not going to have clarity on a framework. And the framework is basically a 3-step process. And I'm going to call this a story framework. Okay. A lot of us, we can't clear our minds in a way. We can't clear that path to find our stories, our VTP stories, our viral transformation stories that will allow us to create the framework that makes sense, because the framework always leads to the offer. Okay. And if you are afraid to sell at $3,000 or more, and you think that you're just going to like sell low ticket and hit your goals, and again, are you being selfish? Some people want so much more from you and you just won't give it to them because you're afraid to go out and serve them, because you're afraid to go get them a result. Well, what if I fail? Well, what if you don't? Do everything in your power to get someone the result that they paid for. And guess what? You're going to make mistakes. Not everything's going to be perfect.
I found this on the web.
Shut up, Siri. I ain't even asked for you. Every mistake that happens in your business, every mistake that happens from a client and for you. So we have mistakes. We have mistakes that happen because of me. We have mistakes that happen because of our team, which is really me, right? And we have mistakes that clients make. My job is to make sure that, one, I fix my mistakes, okay? I make sure that any mistakes that happen from our staff, that those are fixed as well. And guess what? My job is to also help fix client mistakes. And every mistake that's fixed leads to a better business. Everything that you see us do really, really well today is likely the cause of a mistake. Let me know. Just pop a number 4 in the comments section if that makes sense. Everything that we do really well today, every system that we have in place, everything that converts, everything that is considered a wow to most people was at one time likely a mistake. It was like it at one time was an oh shit. Okay. And so you cannot be afraid to make mistakes. But you also have to be willing to make those mistakes, but also be willing to learn from other people's mistakes, because you don't have to make every mistake in your business. Okay. The next thing. So if you've got a clear promise, you've got a story-based framework, you've got a good high ticket offer, okay? A good high ticket offer is going to lead to a good offer journey. I'm sorry. And if you know how to promote that offer in front of the right people, this is as simple as a business has to be, guys. Okay. But what I want you to find is, like, every time I go for a promise, if you're getting coached right now and the coach knows how to design a promise, and you feel something going on internally right here and you bring it up, then that coach can help you figure out why you have inhibitions or certain feelings around the promise that aren't getting there. If we can help you figure out what's going on internally that's keeping you from a very clear story framework, if you can figure out why you're afraid to sell at $5 or $10 or $20,000, then guess what? We can figure out all the internal things. If you're afraid to promote, oh, I hate sales. I hear that all the time. It's like, how can you grow a business and hate sales? How can you grow a business and like hate marketing? No, the two things don't correlate. They don't add up. The thing that you have to get to is figuring out what is causing you to hate something. Do you realize that word? Like, do you realize like what vibration that's creating? Look at this word. Look at that shit. It's such a horrible word, right? What if instead you built your business off of love instead of trying to run from things that you hate? How about building marketing systems that you love? Doesn't mean that you have to do them. Doesn't mean that you have to do everything, but you want to build something that markets to get leads in a way that you love. You can create an environment of sales that you love. You can create an environment of operations and fulfillments that you love. Come on now, somebody. I mean, come on. That's where my hang up is doing with the high ticket. Here's the thing. A lot of us, if we get rid of this internal hang up around high ticket sales or high ticket offers, guess what it'll do? It'll open the door for all your other offers. It'll open the door. A lot of us, we're just trying to work up we're trying to work people up in our offers, and our messaging's all messed up. So it doesn't make any sense. Instead of really owning the fact that, like, look, price has nothing to do with the offer. It's got nothing to do with the offer. If I just create an offer that says, all right, what does my person need from me? What do they want? What's going to ensure that this is going to get them a result? I'm going to make that offer. Because if I design that offer, like, look, I'm really good at short form video. I'm really good at coming up with video ideas for people, writing different hooks, writing different scripts for people with their videos. I'm good at seeing things in the video and how it should be shot, how it should be edited. I'm good at writing the descriptions on how that video should be posted. I'm really good at the next step of the landing page and the sales page and making sure that it all flows. Okay. Why am I good at those things? Because I've had my ass ripped to pieces with my own marketing for multiple businesses, and it made me really good at it. Okay. But the point is that if me getting you the result that you want with your short form video means that I have to like fly to you, okay, and I have to get the video shot myself to ensure that we get the result that's going to get you the most return on your investment, do you think that that's a low ticket offer? And obviously we all know the answer, right? The answer is no. Okay. But here's what I want you to be able to see, Dusty. And I hope you're still on here. And if you are still on here and this makes sense, Dusty, please let me know just by saying the word value. Okay. That's the way I'll know you're still on here. But here's the thing. If I set my bar of delivery at the highest level of delivery. Let me bring up the whiteboard again. All right. I want this to make sense. Okay. So if I've got this promise, and it solves your problem. So my promise, your problem, right? I can solve that problem at a level 10, or I could solve that problem at a level 1. Now, let's just say that the level 10 version of solving that problem involves me flying to you and spending 2 days getting all the video stuff that I need from you right then and there. Okay. Now, if I wanted to charge you let's just say $20K to knock all that out, and I fly to you because it's going to cover my flight, right? I got to bring in a local team that I trust to actually shoot the stuff, right? I got to then go back and edit it. It's a lot of time away from my family. It's a lot of time away from me. So again, I'm going to make sure that I get compensated for that. Is there anything wrong with that? Let me know if you feel like there's something wrong with that. Or let me know if you feel like that makes a lot of sense. Now, at the same time, you've got the same promise, the same problem, but I don't have that kind of budget. So what I could do is I could put a video series together of exactly. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want you to see, Dusty. If I do this first, okay, and I also have this video series down here, and it's got some resources of literally, I documented everything I did for the person that was willing to pay at level 10, okay? But I documented everything. I put together the same resources. I put together the video series. I put together all the same things, right? But now you're going to have to go and hire the person. I even put like, hey, this is how you find local people. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is what I did personally for this person, and this is how you do it. Literally, we've built our business upon this. There's people that pay us $5 to $12 a month to run their TikTok ads and to run their Facebook ads and to run their Google ads and to help them design sales pages and run all their workflows and all that stuff, right? And we do that for people, and they'll pay it. They'll gladly pay us the $5 to $6 a month that we're going to ask for on a minimum, because they know the return on investment for them is, they're making 100 or 200 or 400 grand a month. So like paying us, 6 is nothing because the results there, but it's literally the same thing. So my offer from here to here is the same promise. It's the same, it's solving the same problem. It's just a different level of delivery. And some people want a higher level of delivery, and some people don't. You feel me? But it's going to be way easier selling something down here when you've literally put it to when you've had the highest level person put it together for you, and then you can go down here and say, you know what? Hey, if your level of delivery is right in here, then you may want to do this. And so this may cost you 20 grand. This may cost you, $297. But again, it's the same promise. It's the same verbiage. It's the same message. It's just a different level of delivery. And when you learn how to put together offers like this, then again, you will see a difference in your business. The one thing that I'll be straight up with you is, guess what? A lot of people don't know how to do this the way that I know how to do it. I've literally dedicated my life to this stuff. I'm actually really good at it. So again, you can go out there and do it yourself and, putter your way through it, or you can go and, bring in someone that knows what they're doing. I wanted to build a new patio extension outside of my house. And when I looked up this video, this guy's like, look, I did it myself with a little bit of help. It took me 40 hours to do that. And he's like, and if that 40 hours is worth you doing something else, then like, please, I wouldn't recommend you doing it yourself. Go hire somebody else and they can knock it out in 10 hours because they've got multiple people working on it and they do it all the time, right? Now, if you take pride in doing that, like if it was like, you know what, I want to do it myself, so me and my son can work on this project together, or I like spending time doing that stuff with my son, or you know, my kids. If my daughter wants to get in on it, my wife wants to get in on it. If it's something that I take pride in, then I may do it myself, or I may do it myself and bring in and hire a little bit of help. Everybody has different scenarios, right? There's going to be people that just want that done for themselves and they want it done fast. I want it done today. I'm willing to pay more. And then there's a person that's doing it themselves for different reasons, or they're kind of doing it in the middle for different reasons. Your job is to serve your people. Your job is to make someone's life easier. Okay. Now, you know me, guys, I'm always here to answer questions. So I am going to hang in if you have questions around anything. If you feel like you would take advantage of some one-on-one coaching with me in this moment, then ask your question, okay? I don't try to put my time on a pedestal, but I will tell you this. I literally took on my very first one-on-one client like Friday. I haven't taken on a one-on-one client in 3 years, okay? I usually don't take on one-on-one clients, coaching clients. Everything that we do is either it's like super scalable. People go into like programs and you know, things that are like designed. And so for me to take on a client, it means there's a lot of potential for her, because I see a lot of people. I'm just not going to be in a space where I like go into a scenario trying to like coach someone. Okay. I haven't really I like to flex my coaching muscles sometimes, but if you have questions right now, okay, ask them. All right. You've got me for this allotted time. I'll give you straight up. You guys know me, dude. I never gatekeep shit. I'll give you the straight up answer that you need. Okay. Now, there's some things that you may not be able to figure out or get the full on answer to in 60 seconds or 60 minutes. And it may take you taking some action on something and then coming back and getting, you know, coached on the action that you took. Okay. Because that's how it works. That's how progress works. Okay. So if you have questions, I appreciate you being here, Rob. It's good to see you, man. And I got your message too. We'll coordinate that. All right. But ask your questions. Again, the question that you never ask, you're never going to get an answer to that question if you don't take the shot. Okay. You'll never hit the shot that you don't take, my friend. And also of the things that we talked about today, you know, we really want to internally we want to find that internal thing. Okay. Here's the deal. Leave it as we like wrap up, like, well, what are my action steps? Okay. What we have to do is we have to get to a place where we have a clear action step. We have a clear action plan on to get us to where we want to get to. Okay. So once we create that clear plan to get there, then we know that, all right, cool. That's the execution plan that we need to follow. But along the way of you taking new action, better action, there's going to be internal shifts that have to happen in the middle of each one of these. Okay. And you understanding how to navigate those internal shifts is going to help you ultimately get to the result that you want to get to. Okay. So it's not just about taking the action. It's about reflection. Okay. So I wrote this down. Let me write down what I wrote down so I can give you my full notes. Okay. The word's reflection. Okay. Every action that you take, if you go out and shoot a whole bunch of new videos today and the videos don't get you the result that you wanted, maybe the videos do get the result that you wanted, then you got to like repeat it. But if the action step is to do the videos and then the action step is to like watch the videos over to see which ones perform better so you can remake them the even better, right? Then you may have an inhibition around rewatching your videos. There's a lot of people that are like, oh no, I hate watching myself. I can't, oh man, how can I ever watch myself? How can I ever do that? Ah! Let me tell you this. If you've ever felt like that, or if you've ever said that to yourself, if you want to be a professional and you want to grow, Tiger Woods watches film. Michael Jordan to this day has still watched more game film that's recorded and documented than any other NBA player ever. Look it up. This dude ain't played in the NBA for what? 20 years? Something like that, 15 years, something like that. And he still watched more film than anybody in the NBA. So what you're saying internally to yourself, this is just the point that I'm trying to make. We say shit to ourselves like, we joke around. I hate watching myself. Ooh, how can I watch myself? I just need makeup. You know what I'm saying? And then you're around people that just support that shit. And they say, yeah, girl, me too. Girl, me too. I hate watching myself. Yet the other person studies their own videos and they're getting better and better and better. So again, we got to recognize the bullshit that we tell ourselves. Okay. It's a long question. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it for you and pull it up. I can't even see myself. I can't see it. Hello. What the question is? What is it? I can't read it. What is it? What is the one tip you have on stepping out and standing out when you do coaching unique? For example, I excel at helping women fall in love with themselves and create the life they desire through working with my horses. I'm working on creating retreats, VIP days, and in-person options, but I'm over hiding and staying the best kept secret. So I know everybody's business is different. Okay, let me take that down real quick. There's a few things that's kind of wrapped in there. Everybody's business is different. Okay, so if you're doing the VIP days, retreats, there's a lot of hands-on stuff, right? I would just make sure that I'm getting the footage that is necessary to create the more like scalable thing that, because again, you may have it to where like they buy a program from you, but included in the program is you flying them out for a day and they get, they get the retreat inside the program or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure how the offer's set up. It could already be set up like that. Okay. But one of the things that comes to my mind is controversial content. Okay. If you want to stand out, then you gotta, I'm not saying you gotta, in a lot of spaces, if you want to stand out, then you have to create some controversy. Okay. And you got to stand for something or stand against something. Okay. Let me know with a number 5 if that makes sense. Okay. Now I'm going to pull back up my whiteboard here and I'm going to break down again our core pieces of content that are inside of our Talk Bundle social media guide. Okay. This is inside that. If you don't have it, just say the word, say the phrase Talk Bundle, and one of our coaches will get it to you. Okay. So here's what I would do to stand out. I'm going to put a star by that one. First thing is story content. The next thing is educational. The next one is ask. This is just engagement, ask a question. And this is where we usually put controversial or inspirational. And then we cover going live. We do reach down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and then sell and testimonial. Okay. Now these are the types of content that we talk about. Okay. The next step is how creative can you get with these types of content? Okay. So for instance, I may lean into something that's controversial. Okay. Or something that really I stand for that a lot of people may kind of bark at. Okay. For me, when I have a topic that I stand really firmly on, and I truly believe that for the topic of racism, if we get rid of race, then there is no racism. If we were to get rid of race for a period of at least 50 years, and we stop referring to each other as a color, and we only start referring to each other for the cultural backgrounds that we have, no matter where you are on from the planet, then that allows us to get to know who people are instead of categorizing them as a color. And if we were to do that for a minimum of 50 years, then we would get rid of racism. Now, there's a lot of people that do not agree with that. There's a lot of people that will stand against that for a lot of reasons. But then there's a lot of people that will stand with that. Okay. And because we draw a line in the sand and you actually create some space, a lot of us are like, lukewarm Christians. We just keep playing this middle ground and we keep riding that line. And you're afraid if you keep riding that line on social media, then you will never stand out. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a number 6 if that makes sense. If you just keep riding the line on, hey, I'm going to educate you on the 3 ways to do this and do this, like let people know that the thing that's going on in their head is not serving them anymore. Okay? So if you got to let people know, like, hey, it's not just about falling in love with yourself, but what is the result of you falling in love with yourself? You falling in love with yourself gives you a longer lasting life because you don't have stress and anxiety around bullshit things that don't matter. You falling in love with yourself actually allows you to love your spouse the way that they deserve the love from you when they said, I do. And you've actually decided that, man, I know how to love myself so I can give love in a much better way. But sometimes you have to step in and be controversial. Like, look, you don't know how to love and you're going to be single for the rest of your life because, you just don't know how to love yourself. Your fat ass is going to be fat for the rest of your life because you don't know how to love yourself. Again, like those hooks, those things are controversial, but they're true. Now, don't try to be someone that you're not. Okay. But a lot of us aren't even like being ourselves because we're trying to be somebody. We're trying to be somebody trying to be something for somebody. Don't do that. It's not cool. Be yourself. But every day, again, we just went through an internal journey. And if you can put yourself in a position to always be your best self and to be your most authentic self, you're gonna put yourself in a much better space, in a much better way to stand out online. Okay, so that's the first piece of content that I would really look at doing. Okay, controversial, inspirational stories. Again, every single one of us has these 5 what we call VTP stories, viral transformations. Okay. And I can guarantee that you have probably more than 5, Dusty, and you're not talking about them. Let me give you an example. One of my first VTPs was when I got fired from my job. I remember that there was a time in my life where I was very, I felt like people were going to judge me that I got fired from my job. I felt like what were going to say about me? What were they going to, what were they thinking? And so I didn't share that story. And even then when I would share it, I wouldn't share it in a very profound way. It was just man. Okay. My next one was how I sold my car to buy my very first Facebook ads course to help me in my business. And, obviously, ironically enough, today we run an agency. So like what would have happened if I never sold my car and bought that Facebook ads course? How our business crashed and I had to drive Uber for 8 months just to keep our lights on and to get everything back afloat, and how I still hired coaches, even though it was like the last dollar I had sometime. Okay. every single one of us has these VTP stories, okay? And if you don't pull them out, then that's the first mistake. And then two, if you don't optimize and like learn how to tell these stories like the millionaire version of you, then you're just not only are you leaving millions of dollars on the table, but you're now not creating content that these women need to hear from you to actually go out and change their life. You feel me? Just say the word feels if that makes sense or resonates with you. Okay. And I'd probably say the last one for this one, the question that you asked, okay, I'm going to pull, is testimonials. Again, these people are there with you. So I wouldn't be, I mean, if they're there with me, I'm hiring a creative director. If you've got it, this is what I would do. Again, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. One, I would hire a creative director that really understands video. They understand what videos need to be captured. And they can say, hey, look, this is the videographer that you need to hire, somebody off of like Craigslist or whatever. You can find them everywhere. But if everything is laid out and you're saying, look, this is what's happening on the retreats, and then that creative director, all they need to do is just get the local photographer to just capture all the images, and they know what they need from you. They can literally tell you what they need to capture, and you can do it all in one day because you don't need to be out there every single day. The content can last forever with the right video content. So if you hire the right person that understands the vision of what they want out of these videos, and then you just pay the $100 to $200, or maybe it may cost you $300 for a day to like get them to like do all the filming for a day. But if you get all that footage, you can use it forever, and it's going to be priceless footage. Okay. Not loving myself ended me up with shitty, abusive men. Loving myself scored me a man who literally made coffee with marshmallow. Look at that. Look at that. Look at God. Look at God and marshmallows, yo. So yeah. But if you don't talk about that, if you don't get creative with how that video is shot, with how you do that content, literally in my head right now, I just came up with like 6 ideas for like in my head, how I can see that video being portrayed. It's like, you know, before I do it before and after. I mean, you can do so many things. You do so many things. All right. So how often are you talking about that story? And then it's like, you know, do you go live once a week and tell these stories? Do you sell once a week? And like, again, sell a call, sell your Facebook group, sell a lead magnet, sell your program. You can ask questions, educate. This doesn't have to be so hard, okay? So let me know if that helps. I am out of time today. If you do have questions, make sure you post your questions throughout the week. If you're taking action in your business, then you should have questions. I want you to use our communities to ask the questions that come up inside of your business throughout the week, okay? Either me or our clarity coaches are going to help you answer your questions by either sending you a Loom video, sending you a TikTok video or a YouTube video, or pointing you to in the direction that's going to answer your question. And if you don't think that's valuable, and we do that shit like every day for you. All right. So if you have questions throughout the week, then just think of us first. Think of our group first. Post your question in the group, and we will send you resources to make sure that you have the answers that you need and you're looking for. Is that fair? Let me know if that's fair. And that's all the time I got for you, my friends. Thank you for hanging out with me today on the $1 Million Coach Show. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to hang out with me, and I love you for that. I'm grateful for you, and I am so excited to help you build your $1 Million coaching business. If you need a call with one of our clarity coaches, a free call just to connect and make sure that you're using all of our resources the right way, just comment the word impact and we'll get with you today. All righty, my friends. See ya.